Good morning, students. Okay, so we had already started this chapter number 8, motion. Okay, so in this chapter, we have studied about rest and motion. Any object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with the time. Then we say that this object is at rest. So any object is said to be at rest if its position doesn't change with time. And if its position changes with the time, we say that the object is in motion. So rest means its position is not changing with the time. Motion means its position is changing with the time. And these rest and motion are relative terms with respect to different observers. The same object can be at rest as well as in motion. Okay, the example we have discussed, two passengers traveling in the same bus. With respect to one of the passenger, the other passenger is at rest. But with respect to a person who is standing outside, the same person, okay, who was observed at rest will be observed by the person who is standing outside in motion. So we say that rest and motion are relative terms. Okay, and no object in this universe is at absolute rest. Okay, not at perfect rest. Okay, we say that this room is at rest because every day you see the position of the room to be at the same place. So you say that this room is at rest, but actually along with the earth, it is rotating as well as revolving. So no object is at absolute rest. Okay, perfect rest. There is no object in the universe which is perfectly at rest. Okay, then we started discussing about distance and displacement. Okay, sir has already taught you about distance and displacement. Let's once again revise it. Okay, I think you are writing the questions. Define distance and give its SI unit. This was the last question which I had given. Okay, how is the distance defined? It is the total path length traveled by a moving object. Okay, whenever the object is moving, it is covering some path length. This total path length traveled by the moving object, covered by the moving object, we call it as the distance, and its SI unit is meter. Okay, as we have already discussed, now internationally everywhere the accepted system of unit is SI unit. So whichever physical quantity we'll study will find out its SI unit, will write its SI unit. SI is internationally accepted system of units. Everywhere in the universe this system of unit is used. Okay, SI system. So any physical quantity, what is a physical quantity? The quantities which we study in physics, okay, and they can be measured. Such quantities, any quantity which can be measured, we call it as a physical quantity. Okay, so the physical, any physical quantity will have its unit also and will write its SI unit. SI unit means internationally accepted system of unit. Okay, so the SI unit of distance is meter. Okay, continue here in the same question where you are writing. Write also write about distance that it is a scalar quantity. Write down. So three things here we have written about the distance. The first is its definition. It is the total path length covered by a moving object. Its SI unit is meter. Okay, and write down it is a scalar quantity. Okay, now all the physical quantities can be divided in two groups, scalar quantities and vector quantities. Scalar quantities are those which have only magnitude, whereas the vector quantities are those which have magnitude as well as direction. Okay, like here, distance is a scalar quantity. That is only we have to measure its magnitude. Now, what does it magnitude mean? Any physical quantity can be written as numeric value into its unit. That is some number multiplied by its unit. Like here, if I say that the length of this board is 35 centimeters. Okay, so 35 is the number and centimeter is its unit. So 35 centimeter is its magnitude. Okay, so some physical quantities are there which have only magnitude, like mass, time. Okay, all these have only only the magnitude. So such quantities we call it as scalar quantities. I think sir has already taught you in the first class scalar and vector quantities. So I'm not going in detail. Sir has given the examples also and made you write the examples of five scalar quantities and five vector quantities. Okay, so scalar quantities are those which have only magnitude, and distance is one of the example of scalar quantities. Okay, so distance is a scalar quantity. So what have you written about the distance? Distance is the total path length traveled by a moving object. Its SI unit is meter and it is a scalar quantity. Okay, there you can write down it is a scalar quantity, that is it has only magnitude, no direction. So write down it is a scalar quantity, that is it has only magnitude, no direction. Okay, now write the next question. What is displacement? What is displacement? And give its SI unit. What is displacement? And give its SI unit. Okay, displacement. How do we define displacement? It is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. Okay, for example, a particle is traveling from A to B, then it turns and reaches a point C. So the total path length is AB distance plus BC distance. This is the distance. Now displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. It started from here, point A. So A is its initial position and stopped at point C. So C is its final position. And the shortest distance is always a straight line. So if you join the initial and the final position by a straight line, this we call it as the displacement. So displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. So here in this example, A is the initial position and C is the final position. So displacement is AC. Okay, that is the straight line joining the initial and the final position. Shortest distance is always the straight line. Okay, and it is a vector quantity. That is, we have to mention its direction also. Its direction is from initial to the final position. Direction is from initial to the final position. So the magnitude of the displacement is a vector quantity, that is it has got magnitude as well as direction. Magnitude is this AC length and direction is from initial to the final position. Okay, direction is from initial to the final position. Okay, as it is some length only, the magnitude of the displacement is some length only. So what will be its SI unit? Its SI unit will be meters. Okay, so its SI unit is meters. So write about displacement. Write down. Displacement is the shortest distance. Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial position and the final position. Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. Write down its SI unit is meter. Its SI unit is meter. The same like distance, because this is also some length. Its SI unit is meter. And write down displacement is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. That is it has magnitude as well as direction. Displacement is a vector quantity, that is it has magnitude as well as direction. Write down the direction is from initial to the final position. The direction is from initial to the final position. So here this arrow is representing the direction. This is the initial position, this is the final position. So the direction is from initial to the final position. So what have you written about displacement? Displacement is defined as the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. Okay, and its SI unit is meter. It is a vector quantity. That is, it has magnitude as well as direction. Okay, and what will be its direction? So here you have to mention what is its direction. Direction is from initial to the final position. Okay, now here we'll discuss few characteristics of displacement. Okay, so the question regarding scalar and vector quantities, already sir has given, Shaju sir has given the question based on it, and you have written the examples also for scalar and vector quantities. 5 examples of scalar quantities, 5 examples of vector quantities. Scalar quantities are those which have got only magnitude. Vector quantities are those which have got magnitude as well as direction. Okay, so scalar and vector quantities with its examples that sir has already given. So I'm not going in detail about that. Now we'll proceed with the characteristics of displacement. Some characteristics here we'll study about the displacement. So write down characteristics of displacement, or write the question, what are the characteristics of displacement? What are the characteristics of displacement? What are the characteristics of displacement? Write its answer. The first characteristic, it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity, which we have already studied that it is a vector quantity. So here you have to mention its direction. It is a vector quantity. Its direction is from initial to the final position. So write the first characteristic. Okay, we are discussing the characteristics of displacement. Then later on, we'll come to the differences between distance and displacement. So write the first characteristic. It is a vector quantity, and its direction is from initial to the final position. Write the second characteristic. Write down the magnitude of displacement. First write down, then I'll explain. Magnitude of displacement can be equal or less than the distance traveled. Magnitude of displacement can be equal or less than the distance traveled. Okay, that is magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. It can be possible, and or the magnitude of the displacement will be less than the distance traveled. Okay, so here we'll take the examples and study about it. So the first one is magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. Let's take an example. A car starts from position A and reaches a point B covering 60 kilometers. Okay, a car is starting from point A and reached a point B. The destination point is B. How much path length it has traveled? 60 kilometers. Now, what is the distance traveled in this case? The distance traveled by the car is the path length traveled by this car. Path length is how much? 60 kilometers. So the distance traveled is 60 kilometers. What is the magnitude of displacement? As we know that magnitude of displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position, and the shortest distance is a straight line. This is the initial position. This is the final position. It started from here and this is its destination point. So the shortest distance is always a straight line. That is, this distance from A to B is the magnitude of the displacement. This is the shortest distance between the initial position and the final position. So this shortest distance is again equal to how much? 60 kilometers. So here we see that the magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. So this example we have taken, in which we have shown that the magnitude of the distance travel, magnitude of the displacement is equal to the distance traveled. Okay, so write down example 1. In the same point, in the same characteristic, write down example 1. Write down to show that magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. To show that magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. Magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. So by this example, we are showing that magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. So write down, let a car starts from point A. Let a car starts from point A, travels in a straight line, and reaches a point B. A car starts from point A, travels in a straight line and reaches a point B, covering 60 kilometers. Covering 60 kilometers. So what is the example? A car starts from a point A and reaches a point B in a straight line covering 60 kilometers. So you can draw this figure. Okay, A to B, started from point A, reached the point B. Path length is 60 kilometers. Okay, it's moving in a straight line. Okay, just write it like this. Distance is equal to path length, as you can see from the figure. Distance is equal to 60 kilometers. Write down magnitude of displacement is equal to magnitude of displacement is equal to magnitude of displacement is equal to 60 kilometers. Okay, so in which case the magnitude of displacement will be equal to the distance traveled? When the object is moving in a straight line. When the object is moving in a straight line, then only it is possible that the magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. So write down here. Okay, so one example here we have studied to show that the magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled, because we have the second characteristic which we have written is the magnitude of displacement. Either it can be equal to the distance traveled or it will be less than the distance traveled. So one example here we have taken to show that magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. So, okay, this is the example. So write down, okay, in the here only write down in this example. Write down magnitude of displacement. Magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. Magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled when the object is traveling in a straight line. When the object is traveling in a straight line. Okay, so magnitude of displacement equals to the distance is only possible when the object is traveling in a straight line, then only it is possible. Okay, now the second example here we'll consider. Okay, so in the same characteristic, what is the characteristic? Which characteristic we are studying? The magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled or it can be less than the distance traveled. So now here we'll take the second example to show that magnitude of displacement is less than the distance traveled. Okay, so magnitude of displacement can be equal or less than the distance. To show that magnitude of displacement is less than the distance traveled. So in the same second characteristic, we are discussing the second example. In the first example, we have studied that the magnitude of displacement is equal to the distance traveled. Now we are showing that the magnitude of displacement is less than the distance traveled. Okay. Let the same car starting from point A reaches a point B covering 60 kilometers and then it turns back. Okay, this distance A to B is 60 kilometer. And then it turns back, reaches a point C. Okay, B to C distance is 20 kilometers. So here the car has started from point A, traveled 60 kilometers in a straight line, turned back, okay, and covered 20 kilometers and stopped here. So what is the final position? Final position here is C. Initial position is A. Okay, so I give you 30 seconds to write the distance and the magnitude of the displacement. Okay, after that, I'm going to write down. So in this example, here first you have to write down how much is the distance traveled, then the magnitude of the displacement. I think everyone has written. Okay, what is the total path length traveled by this car? A to B, it has traveled 60 kilometers. Then B to C, it has traveled 20 kilometers. So what is the total path length? 60 plus 20 kilometers. That is 80 kilometers is the total distance traveled. Why? How we define distance travel? It is the total path length traveled by the moving object. So here the distance is equal to 80 kilometers. What is the magnitude of the displacement? A is the initial position. C is the final position. The shortest distance between the initial and the final position, that is this AC length. This shortest distance, that is the AC length, we'll call it as the magnitude of displacement. And how much is it? How much is it? 40 kilometers. So here the magnitude of displacement is 40 kilometers. So what do you see here in this example? The magnitude of displacement is less than the distance traveled. Okay. So the second characteristic which we have studied about displacement is the magnitude of displacement can be equal to the distance traveled. First example. Okay, second example, the magnitude of displacement is less than the distance traveled. So write about the second example to show that magnitude of displacement is less than the distance traveled. So write down a car starts from point A, reaches a point B, and turns back okay, and returns back to reach a point C, as shown in the figure. To reach a point C as shown in the figure. Okay, a car starts from point A, reaches a point B, returns back or turns back, and finally reaches a point C. Okay, as shown in the figure, you can draw this figure. So in this figure, write down what is the distance traveled, the total path length. It has traveled 60 plus 20 kilometers. So the distance traveled is 80 kilometers, whereas the magnitude of displacement, it is the initial and the final position distance, that is the shortest distance between the initial and final position. It will be 60 minus 20, that is 40 kilometers. Okay, so what have we seen in this example? That the magnitude of displacement is less than the distance traveled. Okay, so the second characteristic which we have studied about displacement is the magnitude of displacement can be equal or less than the distance traveled. Now the third characteristic of the displacement, write down. Write the third characteristic. The displacement can be equal to 0. Displacement of a moving object can be equal to 0, whereas distance traveled is never equal to 0. Okay, displacement of a moving object. Here we are discussing about a moving object. Any object which is stationary, which is at rest, its distance will also be equal to 0. So here we are discussing about a moving object. The displacement of a moving object can be equal to 0, whereas the distance traveled can never be equal to 0. Okay, some path length it will cover in some time. So the path length covered will never be equal to 0. Okay, only the displacement can be equal to 0. Now let's take one example and study how is the displacement of an object be equal to 0. Okay, the same car starting from point A, travels in a straight line, reaches a point B, covering 60 kilometers, returns back and reaches the point A. Okay, it goes from A to B and immediately it returns back from B to A. So write the example. Okay, all these characteristics we are studying with the help of example. So write the example. A car starts from point A, reaches a point B and returns back to the same point A. And returns back to the same point A as shown in the figure. And returns back to the same point A as shown in the figure. So what is the example? A car is starting from point A, covers traveling in a straight line, covers 60 kilometers, reaches a point B, immediately it returns back and comes back to the initial position A. Okay, what is the distance traveled in this case? Write the distance traveled and the displacement. Okay, I give you 15 seconds to write the answer. After 15 seconds, I'm going to write the answer and then you can check it. Now you should be able to find out this distance and displacement. Okay, it has started from A, reached a point B, 60 kilometers, returned back and again reached the same point A. You have to find out the distance and the displacement. Written? Okay, what is the distance traveled? Path length A to B, 60 kilometers. Again came back, returned back, B to A, 60 kilometers. So what is the distance traveled? 60 plus 60 kilometers. That is 120 kilometers. Okay, now what is the displacement? Initial position is A, final position is also A. Went and came back. So final position is also A. Now, how do we define displacement? It is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. What is the shortest distance? No distance at all. Initial and the final position, both are the same, both are the A point. So what is the displacement in this case? The displacement is 0. So in this case, in this example, the displacement is 0. Okay, so here the displacement is 0. Okay, so this is the example which shows that the displacement can be equal to 0, but the distance is never equal to 0 as it is covering some path length. So some distance it will travel. So in this example, when it starts from A, reaches a point B, returns back to the same point A, the distance traveled is 120 kilometers, but the displacement is equal to 0. So these are some of the characteristics which we have studied about displacement. Okay, now we come to the differences between distance and displacement. Okay, so write the next question. Give differences between distance and displacement. Okay, after this differences, we'll do few numericals. Write down, give differences between, next question, give differences between distance and displacement. Give differences between distance and displacement. So write in the tabular form, distance, displacement. Okay, whatever you have studied, all these characteristics, based on these characteristics, you have to write the differences between distance and displacement. First difference should be the basic difference which will define these two. Okay, distance, how do we define? It is the total path length traveled by a moving object. Displacement, how do we define? It is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. So the first difference should be always the basic difference which defines the two. So write the first difference. For distance, write down. It is the total path length. It is the total path length traveled by the moving object. It is the total path length traveled by the moving object. Corresponding to it, what will you write for displacement? Its definition. It is the shortest distance between the initial and the final position. So write for displacement. It is the shortest distance between initial and final position. Okay, second difference. Distance is a scalar quantity. That is, it has got only magnitude. Displacement is a vector quantity. So write for distance. It is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. That is, it has only magnitude. Okay, you can define it also here. What is a scalar quantity? That is, it has only magnitude. So write down, distance is a scalar quantity. That is, it has only magnitude. Write the second point for displacement. Write down, it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. That is, it has magnitude as well as direction. That is, it has magnitude as well as direction. Okay, also mention what is the direction. Write down, its direction is from initial to the final position. Its direction is from initial to the final position. Direction, whenever you are writing vector quantity, means it has got some direction. So here you have to mention the direction also. So write down, its direction is from initial to the final position. Okay, third difference. Okay, just now we have studied that the magnitude of displacement can be equal or less than the distance traveled. Okay, so the distance can be equal or greater than the magnitude of displacement. I'm getting it now? Distance traveled can be equal or greater than the magnitude of displacement. And what will you write here? The displacement, magnitude of displacement can be equal or less than the distance traveled. So write here for the distance, third difference, write down, the distance traveled can be equal or greater than the magnitude of displacement, or greater than the magnitude of displacement. Write the third point for the displacement. Magnitude of displacement can be equal or less than the distance traveled. Can be equal or less than the distance traveled. Okay, so the third difference what we have written, distance can be equal to the magnitude of displacement or it will be greater than the magnitude of displacement. Whereas the displacement, magnitude of displacement can be equal to the distance traveled or it will be less than the distance traveled. Okay, with the examples we have studied it. Write the fourth difference. Distance can never be equal to 0. Distance can never be equal to 0. Okay, as in that example, we have studied that distance can never be equal to 0. Write the fourth point for the displacement. Write down displacement can be equal to 0. Displacement can be equal to 0. Okay, when can it be equal to 0? If the particle returns back to its initial position. So write down the displacement can be equal to 0 if the particle reaches back to its initial position. If the particle reaches back to its initial position. Okay, now few numericals will discuss about distance and displacement. Okay, one more difference here you can write down. Distance is always positive. Displacement can be positive or negative. It can be negative also. Okay, so write down distance is always positive. Distance is always positive. Okay, whereas the displacement can be positive or negative. Both it is possible. So write down displacement can be positive or negative. Displacement can be positive or negative. Okay, so distance is always positive. Displacement can be positive or negative. Okay, this example we'll discuss it tomorrow. Okay, and tomorrow few numericals also will solve it based on distance and displacement. Okay, thank you everyone.